Good afternoon. Welcome back. It is Sunday, February 12th, 2023. It is Super Bowl Sunday. We addressed that earlier this morning, so we're not going to worry much about that. We do have two birthdays, NASCAR related, that we're going to celebrate today. Not really any major events, as most of the Busch clashes, Bud shootouts, whatever you want to call them, plus qualifying races, really didn't have anything that stood out, at least what I looked at. They were all just kind of, uh, fell in line with where they were in history. But at any rate, today's first birthday, born on this date in 1955, former Busch Series championship winning crew chief Steve Bird. He only has about 10 cards total, and some of them are in one of those Rob Moroso sets. Of course, here he is pictured with Kenny Wallace on the 92 tracks, driving, or he was crew chief for Kenny. There's a good picture of him in the garage area on the 92 Max. Black Max also being the Red Max. And then in the 92 tracks as well. So there's three good examples of Steve Bird. Of course, Steve was the championship winning crew chief for, I believe, Johnny Benson in 94 95. And then 96 with Randy LaJoy with the base motorsports team both years. And I believe they had a really, really, really bad fallout, and then Steve just kind of hopped around a little bit since then. Our second birthday, born on this date in 1984. One of the bigger birthdays this year of an active driver, 2012 Cup Series champion, Brad Kay. So we've got some random cards. I mean, yeah, I've got probably 400 cards over here off to my left that we could have went through, but I picked out a small stack that I think well represents Brad's career. This was early on, of course, when he was driving for James Finch, the same year that he was driving for Junior Motorsports and Rick Hendrick in the Cup Series. But he did win for James Finch at Talladega in 2009. There you see the victory lane. James Finch, car owner, had actually left the track and had to get back in as a winning car owner. And there's another picture from the victory lane. What is that? '09 Press Pass after party. I'm sure that was a very, very popular win for him. 2010, he moved up the Cup Series, as well as stayed in the Xfinity Series full time. But there you see the 12 car that he was driving with all the Verizon livery, but they weren't allowed to use it because of the rebranding. There's a good picture of him in the Junior Motorsports Navy colors. We've seen this one a few times. 2011 moves up to the Cup Series. Well, he stayed in the Cup Series, but the team switched numbers from 12 to 2. And then the 12 car became the 22 car with Kurt Busch coming on board. Well, the 2 car switched to 22 with Kurt Busch. The 12 car switched to 2. So, and then they just dropped the 12 car altogether. But the teams stayed intact. They just changed numbers. Pennzoil really wanted Kurt Busch for their representation. And then Miller Lite, I think, really got a really good deal with Brad Kay. Some other sponsors that Brad Kay did run through his time at Penske was Auto Trader, Alliance Truck Parts. There you see he went from the blue to the white of Miller Lite. There's a nice discount tire with the car and the uniform. And then we got some cars here. So that's the 25 car. That's the Hendrick Motorsports car with the GoDaddy colors. Of course, he and Mark Martin were going to share a car, and then ended up being that Brad Kay eventually moved over to Penske, so that's when Martin kind of ended up being full-time. Brad Kay once again. Then we have Worth. I'm not sure what Worth is, but a nice little burnout card there. Always liked this car. Always thought it was very clean looking. Of course, Penske always had very, very clean looking cars. Now, as far as the Blue Deuces go, that's probably one of my favorite paint jobs on the Blue Deuce there. You got a couple little, right behind the front fenders there, you got a little bit of a gradient from dark blue to light blue. You got the beer bottle in there. You got the whole, they really did a good job with that. The Alliance, really wasn't a big fan of this one. I don't like those stripes. I know that that's a Penske thing with all their cars. They kind of went to that. kind of hopping around here. Another Worth paint job. That one's not too bad. And again, another look at the faux Verizon car. They just ran Penske on it, but definitely had the Verizon almost logos. You could tell it was a Verizon car. Then we have, apologize for this, they're just not cooperating with me. A nice discount tire car. Discount tires cars always look good with the Penske teams. Then a super cool throwback to Rusty Wallace. Probably one of the best throwbacks out there. And of course, you know when Brad wins races, he likes to put the flag out the window. So I've seen a few of these patriotic type cards that I'm sure Brad would really enjoy. Might take a couple of these. And of course, the White Sparkle National Pride. So a few patriotic themed cards there. A lot of cards that represent different periods of BK's career. He tries to rejuvenate his career. Of course, last year was kind of a bummer year. Ended up way back in the 20s in points. 1 top 5, maybe 3 top 10s or thereabout. Did win a qualifying race. Outside of that, nothing really to cheer about. I do think this will be a turnaround year for Brad. I think he should make the playoffs. Whether that's through a win or whether that's through actually pointing his way in is yet to be seen. But I do believe he will be a contender to make the playoffs. He won't be a championship contender, but I believe if he gets in the playoffs, he'll definitely contend for a 8th, 10th, 12th points place. And the Roush team will be rebounding this year as Keselowski and Buescher are going to make things happen. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. So happy birthday to Mr. Steve Bird and, of course, Brad K. And thanks again for watching. Keep those likes coming. Keep those subscriptions coming. Keep those comments coming. I really, really do appreciate it. So enjoy the rest of your day. Don't know if you're going to watch a big game or not. I may catch it. I may not. We'll just have to wait and see. But thanks again for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.